Hi guys and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about how far this relief pump will get us and from which levels we can potentially take new positions and where do we actually need to exit. I will show you exactly what I'm doing right now and we're going to talk a lot about altcoins today. So don't miss out on that and let's go. Hey guys, welcome back. We jump directly into today's content here. I just tried to figure out how I position myself here correctly. So let's move this a little bit over here. Okay, I'm gonna stay like this. This is fine for me. So I jump directly into today's content here on the weekly chart. So as you can see here, Bitcoin is currently slightly above the 75 moving average, weekly moving average, which is a good sign. Also here on the lower end of the golden ratio at $92,640. As I mentioned yesterday, the only thing that you want to see here is that we're basically holding this level and we're gonna get continuation to the upside. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate your comment there. And again, guys, if you're just joining in, make sure that you smash off the like button so that more people actually see that stream. I'm still kind of shadow banned by YouTube. I don't know what's actually going on. So smash off the like button. Yeah, so nothing really has changed here on that outlook here. On the daily chart, there a lot of things have changed. So we have now reached yesterday the top side of this pennant or falling wedge pattern, whatever you want to call that. And now we're seeing here a small rejection. This is absolutely fine. Just go to yesterday's video where I told you guys that I would see as the most likely outcome a small pullback before we're gonna, or sideways movement before we get continuation into higher levels, and this is exactly what's unfolding here right now. So overall, the MACD is still bullish, the RSI is just going sideways, while price is also just pulling back a little bit, going sideways on the lower time frames. So everything's still within the norm. But I know you guys want to know where are we going next from here and what's the most likely outcome. So the most likely outcome is, based on that we already have now 2 consecutive candles touching here the downward sloping trend line, is that afterwards and most likely by tomorrow, and I want to warn you here again, tomorrow is Friday, so it might be a fake move, we're gonna get a breakout to the upside. That's what I'm looking at a potential breakout and a rejection from $96,000. That rejection will lead to that fake move where people think over the weekend we're gonna pump higher and we actually don't. Trap again, everybody. Monday, liquidate shorts, you know, no, liquidate longs that got trapped in that area here. So we come down on Monday, then we go up, and then we get continuation. Basically the same playbook that we saw last weekend, just in reverse. Then on this chart here with our death cross, so this death cross seems to come also to an end here because the 50 moving average is starting to curl back up here to the upside. But I also want to remind you guys here, a golden cross will not happen before, in the best case scenario, the last week of December. So, but with all golden crosses that we have seen here in the past, especially on the lower time frames, we can expect that price will be trading way higher already when we are getting this golden cross. So let's say we put in the golden cross here at some point end of December, around Christmas. Then I would expect that Bitcoin would be trading at like $106,000, $108,000, $109,000, somewhere in that vicinity in terms of price. Now, in the short term, we are still facing the former support level that is now turned into resistance at $94,500 to almost $97,000. But at the same time, we have completed that W pattern. So we are now just retesting the neckline of that. So if we get here by tomorrow, after tomorrow, a move that pulls away from that neckline, then here the next logical target to the upside would be $101,257, and that would bring us already above the 50 moving average, which would be a good indication for continuation and a turnaround and a potential golden cross looming here in the near future. On here this day, on this daily time frame, the downward sloping trend line with that bump and run pattern. Let me pull this up again. Bump and run textbook. Just want to show that to you guys again for the people that don't know how that actually looks like. No, this is the wrong textbook example. Let me find the right one. Here. There. Oh wow. No. So this copy image. So and then there. So here, textbook example of a bump and run pattern. So now look at this. This looks identical when you look at this. So here you have the lead-in phase. The lead-in phase basically was here, this whole area. Then we started the bump phase. We are still technically in that bump phase, but we're about to enter here throwback of the trend line. So that means we are going to see a move above that trend line. Then you got a retest in the best case scenario, and then we move away, or worst case scenario, however you want to see that. So I honestly, it's a worst case scenario because if we pull back, it is good in the sense of that you get another chance to enter from there, and you would follow textbook procedure. But what happens many times is that we break out and then just consolidate above the trend line, and then we straight go higher. And here the target of the bump and run pattern is the measurement of the bump, here kind of like in the middle, and then you put it to the breakout point. So here, even if we break out, let's say here, 2 weeks from now, that would put Bitcoin at like $105,700 approximately. So this relief pump that we are seeing right now is far from over, in my opinion, and we are just at the beginning of it. So it is definitely a good moment if you want to start building positions that you scale later to do this right now. So, and if you're somebody that likes to trade on higher time frames, then you basically just wait that we close above here. No, come on. This level here of $93,700 to open your next trade if you're not already in one. So let me close this here. So if you want to learn properly to navigate into these markets, guys, I have one more spot. One more spot is available for my mentorship. All the other spots are gone. We went over 800 applications in total. There's one more spot, guys, for my mentorship program where we help you to become guaranteed profitable. Guaranteed. And I want to show you here that even after a couple of days, I have already somebody that made all the money back that they had to pay for this mentorship. So, and that was, on top of that, a woman. So a woman, her name is Marie, and she made this here overnight, yesterday. So this is from yesterday, a screenshot. So she made $14,000 yesterday. So which is crazy, $14,000. And made all the money back already on her investment plus a little bit of profit. So again, if you want to be the last one that has here a chance to get a spot, there is a link in the description directly at the top where you can apply, and then my team will reach out to you. And I want to say this here again. I only do this like maybe twice a year that I open up spots for my mentorship, and then it's closed again. The last time it was open last year, I think it was last year. Yeah, last year, October. A year ago. A year ago that I opened it up the last time. So if you want to see how somebody did that was last year in that batch, go here in my YouTube channel to the videos. The last video that I published is a testimonial. That is somebody that joined last year who also made over 6 figures now. So again, one more spot is available for somebody that's serious and wants to become profitable here. There's the link in the top side of the description. Now on the EMA ribbons are widening up here, and that is a really, really good sign also for continuation, because the wider they are spreading, the higher is the underlying support. That is of course a floating support because the bands are moving up and down here in that fashion. But every time when price will come back to the EMA ribbon, it should act as support, get a bounce, and give us continuation. So here it looks like that we are not far away from seeing something like this, where the price will come down here back to like $91,600, which is a $1,000 move, bounce from there, and then gets the continuation move past $94,000. Here, I would be not surprised to see this happening today, tomorrow. Then we come down here, actually in the next 6 to 8 hours, I would reckon, that we're going to see this. But then come fast back here to like 93, because I don't like, to be honest, how this whole area looks like. A lot of wicks, a lot of sideways chops, so that usually leads to a small retracement here, and that could get us like another $1,000 to the downside before we see here momentum building for continuation. On the MDX algo scalp gradients, also here, we see similar things happening. We are now like in a pinkish red phase on the scalp gradients. No topping indications just yet. Here on the reactor indicator, it can go honestly both ways, you know. So this could be just like a sideways move where because we are heavily contracting here in that area, where we're gonna get the next wave to the upside, or it starts going slightly here to the downside. So the next, I would say, yeah, again, 8 hours is gonna tell us where it's going. The only thing that is making me lean to in the short term to go here a little bit lower first and back to this support level that that you can see here, is that we are currently trading in a supply zone where we have a lot of sell orders. So, and that's why you see the price getting rejected here over the last, what is this, since yesterday, yeah, over the last 28 hours approximately, that we are not able to break here past $94,000. So yeah, and because we spend so much time here in this area, that just tells me that we are most likely rolling over here, coming to the underlying support level, and from there getting then that bounce to the upside. So here on the 50 minutes chart, also here you see early signs of the price approaching the 200 moving average, which is sitting at $92,250 currently. So here, I think I said this to you guys yesterday, that it would be not a big surprise to see here another step into this area before we getting here a proper move to the upside. So we got this actually also yesterday, and I want to mention this here again. I told you guys take from there a trade to like $94,000. So if you would have listened to me, you would have again made here bank really quickly. 94 there. So that was like a scalp trade, as I mentioned, 2.28%. Oh, come on. So with a stop loss kind of here. So here, that was a beautiful trade that you could have taken advantage of. Now I'm telling you, you can take the same trade again, because this time when we come down, it will maybe go a little bit lower, maybe to like 91,700, 91,600, but you can take the same trade again. So the only other way that I would trade this here is if Bitcoin goes and breaks this downward sloping trend line. So then I would also take again a long trade from that downwards trend here once we are breaking this. So otherwise you have your levels, you know, 91,800, 91,600. From here, then you trade this, and then you just start to be a little bit cautious around this downward sloping trend line as resistance, unless we are breaking this, of course, first and taking a trade from there. So, but here this looks like if the 200 moving average keeps going like this, that we are running into a death cross here by later tonight, actually, before the daily close. And what you want to see here in the best case scenario is a bounce from the 50 of the 200 for continuation to the upside. But this might then coincide with a quick dip down here, and then it's off to the races for continuation. Now, when we're looking at the liquidation levels, also here you see why a move to $91,800 is warranted, because we have here heavily late coming over leveraged shorts, long positions at these levels, and the 50 moving average is also curling up to run into that area here on the 4-hourly chart. So currently sitting at $90,400, but in the next 12-16 hours, the 50 moving average would actually sit around $91,500, $600. I don't think that we need to wait that long to see that unfolding, because price is already so close to slip here to the downside that this will happen way faster, you know. So, and this is like then, like I just mentioned, the next area where you want to load up for then seeing shorts getting liquidated just above current price here at $93,900 to $94,600 respectively. On the liquidation heat map, I want to go now a little bit lower. I want to go here like in the 2 weeks, or maybe even in the weekly one. Yeah, so here you see similar things. See here all this liquidity below us, all the way down to like $91,500. This is right now the highest priority target for market makers, unless there is some news event happening that will push price up again. But like just from a technical perspective, it looks like that we are first coming down a little bit before we go higher. And then you see here, that is exactly where these late short positions came in at $94,600. So if they're not scalping, which I hope they do, then they're going to get wrecked when price turns around from 91,800 and pushes them back to the upside. So yeah, so if they think we are still going here back to like $84,000, they're going to get wrecked really, really easy. The USDT dominance is fighting here with the 5.9% level, which is good. So we broke final here, yeah, below that yesterday. Here, what you want to see, close today's candle as is, absolutely fine, no issue with that. And then tomorrow, continuation into the weekend, and then over the weekend, of course, also either sideways chop or continuation back to this upward sloping trend line that we need to break to get above $100,000. The Bitcoin dominance is here ranging between 59 and 59.57%, which is also absolutely okay. We talked about yesterday that we want to see that rejection here from 59.57%, and we actually got this. And also here over the weekend, I see that we are trying to break below 59% and go lower, which will lead to really, really good altcoin gains here. And we're going to talk about some altcoins here in a moment. So here the total free market cap still above the downward sloping trend line, and this is all what I basically care about, that we are above that and holding support above $877 billion. And if we would just range here over the weekend between 877 and here 900, what is this, $2 billion, that's absolutely okay. You know, just range here over the weekend, and then next week get a break into higher levels, break the neckline of the W pattern, go back to close to $1 trillion. Ethereum, so our Ethereum trade is finally complete. That we were running now for over a week, I think. So even if you round tripped all your profits and you did not basically close the trade when we came back to entry, you would have made money now. So, and yeah, everybody that listened to me 3 days ago, I think it was 3 days ago, 3 days ago, you closed the trade completely in profit here. So nothing major has changed on my outlook that we will come back down here. The only thing that changed is the entry level. The entry level has potentially changed, and I'm taking here from $3,060 the next entry to $3,400. But I'm gonna place my stop loss slightly below $2,980. So my stop loss is here $2,956, just to be safe, you know. But it's still a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio trade. And if I get a bounce before that, let's see, let me make this, come on, green. So let's say Ethereum comes down, wicks me into my entry, starts going up from here, like this, then my stop loss is immediately slightly above $3,000. Because now my risk to reward ratio massively increased to the better for me. And then I just let it run like this, you know. So because I basically de-risked now on my stop loss, and that's always good, you know. And then I let this run here. So, but overall, this green area might act as strong support now when we fall back into this, and we might not reach the entry here, and that's why I'm layering my my limit orders. You know, I layer them from $3,155 all the way down to $3,060. And I have like a pyramid approach how I do this. So, but this way around. So here, this is how I enter into a trade like this. Let's say I go every $20 that it goes down from 3,150, I add more in this pyramid. So first I use only 10%, then I use 15%, then I use 20%. So now even before we are going below $3,100, I'm not even 50% allocated, you know, so I am now with 45% in this trade. So now we go lower, So now I use 25. Now I am 70% in, and the last 30% is that I add here at 3060. So with that pyramid, I will average an entry of like $3,100 approximately, $3,090, something around this level. So which is for me absolutely fine, because on the way back up, I will be really, really quickly sitting in profit. So and this is how you should overall scale into positions. If you're not sure, okay, is the support too strong here in this area? You know, will we actually reach all the way down here, the entry level? So for that reason, you should always have like this pyramid approach of scaling into your positions. And percentage-wise is absolutely up to you. You know how much percentage you allocate to that pyramid, but you should be not too aggressive. You know, you should really be slowly scaling into things like that. So, but yeah, Ethereum overall looks good here. We also broke the neckline of the W pattern, and I just want to show you here that W pattern that played out. So if I trade this conservatively, is already going past $3,400. If it plays out here, $3,515 would be the target. But here on this pullback, you get like a last chance opportunity to enter this before it takes off. Then Solana also broke the neckline here on, let's see, on a 1 hourly chart. Yeah, I had a feeling. So here is a small falling wedge pattern shaping up, or bull pennant, however you want to look at this. So no, I don't like this like this. This is more, yeah, so here downward sloping trend, downward sloping channel, parallel channel that we see. So if Solana breaks here above $144, it will continue to go to the upside, because here the indicators, they are heavily oversold. MACD oversold, stochastic oversold. RSI wants already to turn around. So here might be a breakout coming for Solana in the short term. So just that you see where the target is for that W pattern over here. So we technically we have not broken yet the neckline. The neckline is at $144.21. So I still want to show you here. There. Here. Well, the target of that W pattern is $168. So you see already why when we took the trade from this downward sloping trend line here, when it broke, why I said here easily $155, $160, $156 is my target to the upside. And now we can potentially extend this all the way up here, you know, to like 168. But I would not go all the way up there. I would go here into the resistance of $165. So if you're looking for an entry, your entry might be around the corner, you know, when we break the neckline. Let me put in the neckline here. So there. So once we break above this, it's a go, you know. So on the 4 hourly chart, like I said yesterday, still looks like that we're rolling over a little bit. But we have potentially higher time frames giving us a different story. Yeah, here RSI wants to keep pumping in bullish territory. MACD looks bullish. Stochastic might be misfiring. And on a daily chart, the daily chart, yeah, RSI going sideways, but otherwise bullish continuation. So once we break here above $144, $145, it's continuation to the upside. So hence why I would be looking for an entry from that specific level. Guys, finally almost 100 people here at once. Amazing. Smash up the like button that we get here to 100. That would be great. I'm here now 24 minutes. So 2 coins, guys. Give me 2 coins that I go through for you before I'm going to move on, because I still have to film some other stuff today. But I'm going to do 2 coins. Put them in the chat, guys. Put them in the chat. And in the meantime, I want to remind you guys, if you want to learn to trade from me, there's one more spot available in my mentorship. But you need to apply for it. You know, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It's not about the money. You know, of course you have to pay for it, but it's not about the money. I only want to work with the with people with the right mindset, and my team, my sales team, might come off a little bit strange for asking you certain questions, you know, but it all makes sense when you are in the mentorship, you know, so because we want the right people there. So, and just to show you that I have already proof of concept, Marie was able to make $14,000 yesterday, and she just joined on Saturday. You know, Saturday, I think, was it Saturday? No, not Saturday. It was Monday. Monday is when she, Monday? Was it Monday? I think it was Monday. Monday when she joined. Yeah, but she told me for a while that she wanted to do it. You know, that's why I'm a little bit confused. But yeah, she did it on Monday. From Monday, she made $14,000. You know, she made all the money already back. So there is a link in the description. If you want to apply, take advantage of that, because there's only one spot available. I'm not opening up for like a couple of months at least afterwards. So let me see here in the chat what you guys want. Chainlink is good. Still have Chainlink open. Here, let's see. Yesterday we spoke about this. I think we did we? So let's see. Yesterday, this is Wednesday. Yeah, I think yesterday, if we did, I'm not sure anymore, I would have for sure said that from here is currently not a good entry. So here I wait for a pullback to like $14 for Link, because the stochastic is cooked. The MACD is also rolling over, the RSI is going down. So here, like a 3% move for Link would not surprise me, to see something like this. And here on a higher time frame, where is the W? W was lower, so this was a strong W breakout. But we're not there yet. Not there yet. Let's see. The target is not reached yet. I can see that. So the target here, $15.33. So this is another 6% that it can move from current price. Yeah, 6.17% from current price. I would not enter here right now, you know, so it doesn't look good to enter this. Yeah, that looks like that it will come down like to $14, $18, $14. Oh wait, 13. Oh, wait, now I have to check again where for hourly chart. So here, there. Yeah, $14. Yeah, $14, $14, 15, 20. That is like the range that I would be looking at. So also when you look here, so this is most likely your area where we fall back into before you get continuation. So I just want to see now, if we look here with Fibonacci. Yeah, I cannot make this up. You know, I just pulled this up. Golden ratio, almost. You know, it's slightly below the golden ratio. It might dip into the golden ratio before it goes back up, but doesn't have to. You know, it like the support levels that I showed you guys is just in between the 0.65 and the 0.786. So yeah, quite accurate for a small move down before continuation to the upside. So I would definitely long from there, from these two yellow areas, and then trade this straight into like $16.30, $15.70, somewhere in that range here. Also, this downward sloping trend line was also broken. I just saw that. Yeah, that was like another area where you could have longed this before. So SUI, let's have a look here at SUI. Oh yeah, I'm already way too long here again. Way too long here, so I have to be quick with SUI. SUI. So SUI is currently trading above $1.56, which is a multi-month support area that I called out before it actually broke above this a couple days ago. So if you're still in this trade, hold this. You know, you're up like 7% roughly. Yeah, 6-7%. So you're definitely good here. W pattern currently retest of the neckline, more or less. So if it comes back to $1.63, let's see where I enter this from there. Yeah, $1.63, $1.56, that is like the area where you want to either add to your position or open a new one. Or if you want to play it really safe, this downward sloping trend line needs to break first. So one of these things, these three things has to happen for continuation. I don't see us falling here below $1.56, to be honest. This looks more like that we get at some point here the continuation move, because the stochastic is kind of in a smooth angle going down, which is most of the time accompanied by a here tick to the upside, and then you get here another strong candle like this here with continuation to like $1.85, $2, something like this. And I think that SUI has here a massive fuck you candle coming, you know, to the upside, because it went down for such a long time, and sorry for my language, but it went here for such an extensive amount of time down since the 10th of October, only down, down, down. So I would be really not surprised that we get one day a candle like this here, where it just goes up like this in one single day. Yeah, and other than that, guys, I'm going to run here now again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you again with more money tomorrow.